Hey y'all, and welcome back to Kitchen Notes from Nancy. On today's episode, we are going to be making some stove-top candied yams. So if you want to learn how to make a super quick but delicious side dish for Thanksgiving, all you gotta do is stay tuned. We're gonna hop right into the recipe. For this one, I'm using 3 large sweet potatoes. And for anybody who's in the South, these are the Mississippi sweet potatoes. I like them because they have less strings and they're a good size. You're going to need some salt. I'm using kosher salt. You're going to need some nutmeg, some vanilla extract, and this is pure vanilla, some cinnamon. You are going to need a half a stick of butter. And then I use 2 types of sugar. I use brown sugar and I use white sugar. So I'm going to use a little bit of the brown sugar and a little bit of the white sugar. And they both add something a little different. So yes, use both of them. So now it is time to start peeling the potatoes. And you can use a potato peeler if you want to, but I just like to use a paring knife. So I cut the tips off and then I just take my knife peeling towards myself and then peel that skin off. And you know you were taught by an old school cook when you're using this plastic bag right here. I'm telling y'all, plastic bags, they do everything. They trash bags, they're potato peel bags, they egg peel bags, everything. So once I get these potatoes peeled off, we'll take them to the sink. When you're making candied yams, the cut is very, very important. And here you're going to see me struggle a little bit. And that's because sweet potatoes are very hard. So be very, very careful. And the reason why I cut them in half first is because after that, you can cut on a flat surface and it makes it a little bit more safe. So here I cut them into about half-inch pieces. And you want them all to be pretty uniform. Because it's important when you're cooking them on the stove top so that you don't have some that get mushy and then some that are still hard. So you just continue doing this until they're all cut up. And then after I get them cut up, I'm going to wash them off in the sink and we'll get started with the next portion. So here I'm just going to give my potatoes a really good rinse. I tend to wash mine 2 or 3 times. It's just what I do, no major reason. And then after we get them all washed up nice and clean, we'll move on to the stove. I switched them over to the colander so they could drain a little bit while I get ready to mix up our sugar concoction. So now let's go to the counter. So I'm going to start by mixing our sugars. I have 1 cup of the regular white granulated sugar. I have a half a cup of the brown sugar. Now I'm going to scoot in just a little bit closer so you can see me add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, now we're going to go in with a half a teaspoon of salt. And the salt is just to kind of amp up the flavor. It intensifies the flavor of the sugar. It doesn't make them salty. It just helps to intensify the flavor of everything else. Now I'm going in with a teaspoon of the cinnamon, the ground cinnamon. And then I'm going to follow that up with 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. If you don't like nutmeg, then you can omit it. I do like what it adds to my yams, but you want to be very, very careful with it. So I'm only adding in 1/4 of a teaspoon here. Now that we're done with our dry ingredients, we're going to go in with a teaspoon and a half of the vanilla extract. Some people use the imitation vanilla and they say that it tastes the same, but when you're making sweet potatoes, it's best, even when you're making sweet potato pie as well, it's best to use the pure vanilla extract. And be sure to check the comment section for, not the comment section, the description bar for all of these ingredients. The last ingredient that we are going to add is something that I didn't show in the beginning because I forgot. But you can add fresh squeezed lemon juice to this. Fresh squeeze is best, but I didn't have a lemon. So I just went in and I added a teaspoon of the lemon juice. So I added 1 teaspoon. If you have lemon extract, you can use it. I would probably only use a half of a teaspoon if I use lemon extract. You can use the fresh squeezed lemon juice, or you can use the juice like I did. Now, what you want to do is mix this all up. I'm breaking up some of the clumped brown sugar there. So you want to just try to give it all a mix. But once you get it in the pot, it is not going to matter. So you'll be fine. So I lost the clip. So I'm just going to describe to you what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to layer it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of water in the bottom of my pot. That's all, 2 tablespoons. Sweet potatoes make their own water. Then I'm going to put down about half of my sweet potatoes. And then I'm going to take this mixture that I'm stirring and spread it on top of that half. After that, I'm going to take the other half of the sweet potatoes and put them in, and then I'm going to cover that part with the remaining part of the mixture. What you're going to end up with is this. So this is what they should look like. And then you want to put the top on them, and you want to put them on medium heat and do not touch them. You're going to check them periodically. You see how much water they've made right there? You're going to check them periodically. And what I'm doing now is trying to flip the bottom ones onto the top so that the top ones can get nice and soft. But they are making their own liquid. They're starting to soften, and they're making that syrup at the bottom. That's how you candy a sweet potato all the way through. You can't use water to do this. It's going to make its own water. So just put it on medium-low heat, and you just watch it, because as this cooks down, it is going to start to thicken up. So after about 30 to 35 minutes, they should be fairly soft. Now I'm going to take the top off of them, and I'm going to add my half a stick of butter, but I'm going to cut it up into like small thin pieces. These aren't quite a tablespoon of butter, but you're going to use your half a stick of butter and put it into your potatoes. You're not going to stir it in. You're just going to let it melt. You're going to keep that top off of there so you can, the liquid can evaporate and then make your candied syrup. So we are almost done. This is one of those easy dishes. I am also going to be making a sweet potato casserole. So be on the lookout for that. I wanted to go ahead and get these stovetop candied yams in. I do have a video for some oven candied yams, and I think I'm going to remake that as we head into Christmas, but I'm going to link that one down off in the description bar if you want to know how to do it in the oven. As always, thank y'all so very, very much. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoy these stovetop candy yams. So make sure that you like this video. Make sure you comment, do you like candy yams? Or what is your favorite holiday dessert? And make sure that you share. And if you are not subscribed, what are you waiting on? I upload a video pretty much every day. So you don't want to miss that. We want you to be a part of our neighborhood here. And until next time, bye, neighbors.